What if your everyday carry light wasn't something you just used, but something you could actually wear? Like many of you, I always have a light clipped to my pocket and I never give it a second thought. If this little computer chip looking light right here has me trying to change that, and it's honestly pretty wild. Today we're checking out the Sofern SE1 pocket light. This is a really tiny coin-sized light that blends white light, UV, and a really weird wearable design into one seriously unique and compact little package. This isn't your typical keychain sized flashlight. This is something trying to be different. It's aiming to be part tool, part accessory, and part conversation piece. But is it actually useful or is it just a gimmick? So let's break it down. Right off the bat, this doesn't look like any flashlight I've ever owned. Typically, pocket-sized flashlights stick to a similar size, around 3 to 5 inches, feature a pocket clip, and are typically tube-like designs like this one. Yet this little guy doesn't match any of that. Instead, we have this flat, square design, almost looking like something pulled off a computer's motherboard. Sharing the computer chip theming, this also feels about the size of something you'd find on a circuit board. Measuring just an inch across and an inch wide, and just a mere half an inch tall, this might be one of the most pocketable flashlights out there. It's truly hard to convey just how small the size of this guy is. This thing is just so tiny. This is closer in size to a coin than actually a traditional flashlight. And that's honestly a huge part of the appeal. Even with its small size, it's not light. As you can probably tell, this is made out of copper, so it's a little bit heavier than if it's made out of aluminum or titanium. That said, I think it's a pretty cool choice as it looks great and it should develop some patina over time. But other than the look, what makes this light special? Well, first is just the overall concept. Again, we're used to lights with a pocket clip and just clipping it to the pocket and forgetting about it. So how would you carry a light like this without just dropping it in the bottom of the pocket? Well, this is where things get actually a little bit interesting. This light's whole design ethos and intention is to be used as a wearable concept. So what the heck does that even mean? This light is actually meant to be worn, not carried, but worn. And as crazy as that sounds, it's honestly kind of interesting. The back of this light is actually magnetic, so you can attach it to any metallic surface. And this actually goes a little bit step further. Sofern includes a small plastic bracket and clip with a magnetic backing, and it just slides right in. Now with this clip, this is similar to something like the Olight O-clip, and you can either clip it to your belt, pocket, bag, hat, you name it. But it actually doesn't end there. Sofern again included a small strap at the bottom of the box, and you can slide the strap through these little holes, and you can actually wear this like a bracelet or a watch. And I personally have never seen anything like this, and though I won't really wear it like this myself, I think it's a pretty interesting concept and surely will intrigue some people out there. After carrying this light for a little bit, I've come to realize that this is less of a power flashlight and more something like a quick access utility light. And I say this as this light only features 300 lumens. A few years ago, I'd have been blown away by this output, but things change and lights just continue to get brighter and brighter each year, so 300 lumens is now just a little bit low for me. That said, it's honestly still impressive, and that's just because it isn't limited to one light source, as this actually features two. First off, you get a white light that is a low, a medium, a high, and then it gradually steps up to a turbo, and then with a double click, you actually get UV light. And with this extremely small size and features, from my early impressions, the SE1 feels like it's positioned as a grab-and-go light for quick tasks, not long outdoor use. I think this is best for something like finding small dropped items, checking stains or leaks with a UV, or just really quick illumination in tight places. This feels like it isn't trying to replace your ultra-powerful, dedicated flashlight, and instead this is kind of competing to replace your phone flashlight, but in a more versatile and always-ready form. Now, I haven't had this light for a crazy long time, so my experience has been pretty short. With that said, there's a lot to like here, and of course there's also a few drawbacks. So some of the positives first. First off, this is extremely portable. Due to its size, this is barely noticeable to carry. It's just one of the most pocketable lights out there. Just look at it in the palm of my hand. It just absolutely disappears. It's just truly so small and tiny, you honestly kind of forget it's there. Next up, I really like the unique wearable design. The modular clip and the strap system is actually just pretty different and innovative. You can clip it, wear it, magnet mount it, you name it. That flexibility is pretty rare in this size category. I don't know if this type of design will actually really catch on and move to other lights, or if this is just a gimmick, but it's kind of cool to see something different and some innovation in this space. Next up, I really like the dual light utility. I like having a white light, but I also like having the UV. Having UV built in adds some real world usefulness, detecting stains, checking currency, inspecting materials. I don't use UV very much, and honestly, hardly really at all. There's been the rare occurrence where I really wished I had this on my normal carry light, especially while traveling, just to check out how nasty your hotel room really is. Next up is chargeability. This light actually features onboard USB-C charging, so it's really nice that I can use the same cable to top this off that I use to charge my phone and never have to worry about switching out batteries. And then finally, the last thing I really like is just having this as an instant access EDC. Because it's how it's designed and how small it is, it's more likely to be on you and ready, and that matters more than just a really raw power high output. However, no light is perfect, and this is no different. My main gripe is just the output. It just has a low output brightness compared to some of the competitors. 300 lumens is fine, but many small lights now push over 1,000 lumens. And this just might be nitpicking, as I hardly ever need crazy high output, but it's just nice to have. 300 lumens is still really respectable, but with how bright these micro lights are getting nowadays, it just would have been nice to see something a little bit brighter here. Before I dive into the value and wrap this all up, I first want to go over the packaging. I typically never cover packaging because no one really wants to look at a cardboard box. However, this might be one of the rare occasions where the unboxing process was actually pretty satisfying. First, it arrived in this classy black box with copper foil accents, yet the box isn't the star of the show here, it's the extras. On the top layer, there was first a letter with a regal looking wax seal. And you can pause the video here if you want to read this fully. Underneath that, we have the light itself, the plastic clip, and then a small challenge coin. And this may come as a shock to you all, but I think challenge coins are actually kind of cool. This might be my first one, and I think it's a pretty interesting design. Now, taking off this top layer, there's actually more underneath. First, we have the wrist strap that can go on the clip, and then we have a small box that actually holds quite a bit of stuff. It holds the charging cable, the instruction booklet, a small lanyard you can add to the light, and there's even a small metal ball chain that you can add to the light and wear it like a necklace. After the box, you also have a small metal carabiner with 2 screwdriver heads and even a small knife blade. It's a little bit hard to open. It's just pretty cool seeing all this stuff in this box, and the crazy thing is all this was just $40. As I mentioned, the light in this whole setup costs $40. If it was just the light itself, I would say it's a little bit high. But instead, you're getting all this, the light, the coin, the clip, the strap, the carabiner, the whole unboxing experience. And these are limited to just 1,000 pieces. So here's my honest take. If you judge it like a traditional flashlight, the value is a little questionable. You can get higher brightness, better UV, and longer runtime for the same price or less. But that's not really the point of this light. The value is in the form factor, the wearability, the convenience, and the exclusivity. It's closer to a premium keychain tool, a functional gadget, or even a collector's piece. So the question becomes, do you want the best flashlight? I'd probably recommend looking elsewhere. But if you want the coolest tiny EDC light that's also a collector's piece, this makes a lot of sense. So to wrap everything up, the SoFirm SE1 is a very intentional product, and it's both its strength and its weakness. It's not trying to compete with high output EDC lights. Instead, it's carving out a niche as a wearable, ultra portable utility light. So my final verdict, this is really great for minimalist EDC setups, quick everyday tasks, people who value design and convenience. This is not really great for flashlight enthusiasts chasing specs, outdoor high output use, or even UV heavy applications. If you go in expecting a tiny, stylish, always on you light, you'll probably really like this. If you expect a powerhouse flashlight, you'll probably be disappointed. So let me know what you think. Is this something you'd carry or just leave stashed in the box as a collector item? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.